You're listening to Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. Each week, your host, Polly Requa, interviews veterinarians and individuals in the pet industry from across the nation answering pet questions. Bark and Wag podcast is produced weekly for your enjoyment, and show notes can be found at barkandwag.com under the podcast tab. That's BARKNWAG.com. Please remember to subscribe to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk.
Thank you for listening to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. Bark and Wag is dedicated to protecting our dogs through advocacy, education, and supporting like-minded dog lovers by selling custom pet products. Bark and Wag is excited to announce our new partnership with a Colorado hemp farm to produce a line of CBD products for your pets. Bark and Wag has CBD pet tincture available in 300, 750, 1200, and 2400 milligrams. Bark and Wag CBD is pet safe, no THC, it's made in the USA, and is CO2 extracted. Please check out Bark and Wag's website, barkandwag.com. That is BARK, to see our line of CBD and awesome merchandise. We love pooch ideas for podcasts and merchandise, so anytime send an email to Polly at barkandwag.com with your suggestions.
Welcome to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. I'm your host, Polly Requa. Today we're talking to Jessica from Hobnob in Denver. Hobnob specializes in overnight boarding, doggy daycare, swimming, training, shopping, and self-service wash. Welcome to the podcast, Jessica. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So my dogs have gone to doggy daycare for years, and I wanted to have you on the podcast to help people, or our listeners, who have never used doggy daycare facility on what happens when a client walks in the door with their dog.
So at our facility particularly, most of the people who would just come in will just kind of grab your dog from you, chat a little bit, and then I will bring your dog to the back and then basically put them outside with the rest of the play group, and then they play for most of the entire day until you come and pick them up. Otherwise, if you're a new customer, we just have some paperwork to go over, and then we kind of show you around the place, show you our play yards, and then have your dog go through what's called a slow intro, which is where your dog would stay in the indoor play yard, and we would bring in dogs into them one at a time. So it's kind of a slow way to introduce your dog to each one of the dogs who have been coming for a while.
And how many dogs do you usually have during the day?
So we can range anywhere from about 100 to 120 at our facility.
Wow. Okay, so how do you decide what the best doggy daycare is for your pet in your area?
So here in Denver, there's so many doggy daycares to choose from. There's big corporations, there's basic mom and pop. So mainly what I would do, at least for my dog, is look at what I'm trying to achieve with my dog. If I just need a supervised play group, then looking for a doggy daycare that just does like supervised play, or like at our facility, we have a swimming pool inside. So we offer group swims every single day. So it's kind of a little like extra treat for your dog to be able to swim, especially on the 100-degree days like we've been having for the last few days. Or if you're just looking for someone to kind of watch your dog and just take them out for potty breaks, then maybe just a day boarding facility would be best too. Personally, I always look for doggy daycares that my dog can play at, because what I'm looking for is wearing my dog out. So definitely a facility where they can run around mainly 100% of the time, maybe a quick nap in the middle of the day, and then playing the rest of the day until I come pick up.
And I know when my dogs go to Hobnob, they love to be in the pool. So anyway, I know that you guys have a swimming pool because Maddie, our black lab, is always soaking wet, which is so cute. So.
Yeah.
And then tell us about the swimming facility that you have at Hobnob.
So it's an indoor pool. We have two different sections of the pool at our facility at DTC. I think Lakewoods is a little bit different, but at our location, one area is about a foot deep, so we call that our shallow end. And then the other side of the pool goes down to about 5 feet, going off of a ramp. So we offer group swims in the morning for all of our daycare and hotel dogs that are staying there for the day or for the night. So I'll put together that list in the morning, and then we swim them for about 15 minutes at 11 o'clock. And then they go back out to play group. Or we also offer private swims, which can be either just a recreational swim where if you know your dog likes to swim, can swim by himself, you guys can just basically have the play or the swim area to yourself for 30 minutes and then you guys can just play in there for a little while. Otherwise, we also do assisted swims where we can kind of help your dog maybe get just exposure to water or to the pool, maybe learn how to swim. Some people will even come in for therapeutic swims for dogs who maybe have arthritis or maybe they're post-surgery and just looking to stretch their muscles and their joints a little bit. So we can actually get into the pool with them and kind of help them swim and get a little bit of exercise that way as well.
Oh, that's amazing. So the other thing is when a dog comes in, is there a test period to see how the dog reacts being around so many dogs?
Yeah, so all new dogs have to go through what's called a trial day is what we call it. So basically it's just a full day of daycare. It lasts from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in our facility. So we do the slow intro for them so they can meet the dogs one by one. We kind of test their ability to be around that many dogs. Most people who bring their dogs to doggy daycare, I would say, know that their dog is friendly. So 99.9% of the time it works out. And then after we do kind of that slow intro, we bring them outside with the rest of the dogs. They can romp around. We always watch for body language. If we notice anything concerning, we may slow down the intro, or if it looks too concerning, then we may just cancel the whole trial day together and maybe suggest some type of socialization training first. Because that's one important thing about doggy daycares is they are not a socialization class. So your dog has to already have been at least somewhat socialized in the beginning, maybe in the puppy stages, to be able to handle, especially a doggy daycare that takes 100, if not more, dogs per day.
And if a dog does get overstimulated just because there's so much activity, is there a timeout area or is there a quiet area?
Yeah, so all of our play yards have like an outdoor play yard. We have an indoor play yard. So in our indoor play yards, there are a couple of kennels inside of there that we call our timeout kennels. So we can always put a dog up in there if they just need a quick breather, maybe to recoup. We also have a specific row of kennels in our boarding facility that we call daycare row, and we can put them up for naps as well. Maybe they need like just some sleep time to cool down a little bit, and then we let them back out to readjust.
And I love the fact that you have cameras so you can be at home and be checking on your dogs. I don't even think they do that in kindergarten or first grade.
Right.
So
I think that's one really important thing about choosing your doggy daycare too is cameras. I appreciate that so much, to be able to just watch my dog play when I'm not there, just to check in, just to see how she's doing, watch her, see if she's playing with any dogs, and make sure she's doing okay as well.
And do you, like at the end of when the dog is leaving, do you get a report so that the owner knows how the dog did or what to work on? Or
on their first day they do. On the rest of the days, we do kind of give feedback of like, oh, your dog found a friend today. So-and-so is his best friend. But for the most part, after they do their first day, we kind of just give like good feedback because normally that's all we have. But if we do notice anything negative happening at the daycare with your dog, then we do give feedback on there. Our facility is one of many that do ban dogs if there is concerning behavior, or if they're showing signs of aggression, or maybe they just need some basic manners and some training, then we either ban for aggression or we also can ban it for training as well. So after your dog goes through some training just for some basic manners, then they can come right back and go back to playing.
Great. Well, it sounds like it would be super fun to be a dog and be at doggy daycare. So
Yeah.
They all seem to all have a great time. One, my dogs get excited to go there, and then coming home, they're always exhausted. So I know that they had a good day.
Right. I agree.
Well, thank you for being on the podcast, and we look forward to having you back.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll pass along our web address, www.barkandwag.com, to your friends and other pet owners. Have a pressing question for a veterinarian? Ask your question at barkandwag.com under the podcast tab. This has been a KFR production. Join us next time for another edition of Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk.